Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to the Bobby Klinck Coaches Show. Live from Amped Up Energy. Coach, I see your glasses, your cup's already empty. What did you enjoy tonight?
Well, this is chocolate, peanut butter protein, jam packed. I got this body just doesn't happen.
That's right.
You got to get the nutrition to go with the workout.
One.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm enjoying the Island Breeze tonight. Arnold Palmer style, tea and lemonade mixed in. Incredible. So our friends down at Amped Up Energy always taking care of us. Chris, you had something full of chocolate, didn't you?
Coca Mocha, baby.
Oh.
And that's my favorite. It's little almond joy.
That's good stuff. Well, welcome in, Sanday fans, along with Coach Bobby Klinck, the legend Chris Kaiser. My name is Will Holder. We're excited to bring you week 4 of the Bobby Klinck Coaches Show, and we do get to come live each Tuesday night right here at Amped Up Energy, and we couldn't be happier. It's a lot of fun down here. So we're going to just kind of follow our normal format that we've had for the last 3 weeks. We're going to talk a little bit about last week. We're going to talk about this week. We're going to have 2 incredible athletes come that we get to spend a little time in one of our segments, and then our famous segment 4. You never know what's going to happen, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Coach, let's dive in. I know that this week we get to come and celebrate our first victory of the season. We looked really good Friday night. Just kind of give us some of your cliff notes of what you saw, what you guys saw on film, and what you're excited about, what we need to work on a little bit.
Well, you're a little nervous going to that game after our first 2 opponents who, outmatched us in a few certain areas. And so we didn't really know, how good we were. I thought we could be pretty decent, and then coming out fast, getting up 21-0, and then finishing out the shutout and everything. It's amazing. I'm a good coach again. We have good players again. Winning. We were talking about that. Winning cures all. And so, I told our guys to that game, hey, we're going to make plays. We're a good football team. Be humble in what we're doing. And so when good things happen, just be even keel about it. Don't get too high, don't get too low, and was really proud of our performance that Friday.
Is there anything, I labeled it a complete game. I don't know, I know you well enough that you probably have some things that you would like to work on and get better. Is there anything that stood out that you're like, God, we just gotta take care of this?
Yeah, the first opening drive, I thought we had a chance to get a 3-and-out right there. Then they got a first down on the long third down. And then they were able to have some success running the football on us. And, all that is just run fits. They did a couple things that we weren't ready for. We expected to do more gap scheme. There were more zone, divide zone, things like that. But luckily, You know, we had a nice interception to kind of change the momentum of the game, and then offensively, you know, I was very happy with how we ran the football. I think we were just under 200 yards rushing. You know, if we're able to run the football, to also go along with our passing game, better
Right.
watch out for us.
Well, that's what I said in the pregame was, man, let's get two-dimensional, meaning, hey, you got to defend both the run and the pass. And, you know, you can't say enough about Joe Farmer and your whole back end. Your guys have figured out how to take the ball away
Yes,
this year.
I think so.
You look at every all your games, you guys have forced turnovers.
Yeah.
You force them off the field. I think I wrote down you had one takeaway and 3 forced punts in the first half. You know, overall in the game, you only had 4 penalties. I mean, that might be a record low.
That's really good. And, you know, one of them was a dead ball personal foul, which is the thing that I hate the most. So we're still working on that, on emotional stability. But, you know, I was happy that, you know, we thought defensively we're going to do what we do. We're going to run our quarters concepts and our 3-by-1 checks and get after them up front. And then offensively, I love the way that we're kind of adding, you know, Coach Green does a good job is, okay, he kind of knows what he likes, and then we're going to add a few things. And if he doesn't like it during the week, he's like, scrap that. We're not going to run that at all. And so let's get good at what we're doing. And I think it shows week to week on, you know, how efficient we are.
Some things unfold every single week. If you're watching and paying close attention, and we know opponents are, you're seeing just this little tweak here and there, and things are showing up. That do you want to speak to the second half opening drive that stalls that 12-play drive stalls at the goal line?
Yeah.
That was a bummer.
Yeah.
Sort, but.
You know, you know, we're trying the Wildcat stuff, and you know, that kind of, we're still working on that. So we're definitely getting the timing on that with Dom at quarterback and making sure we're getting everything right. But yeah, I mean, it was obviously disappointing. But then, you know, to get the block punt and then to stuff it in over there, that was a big deal for us. You know, to really change the momentum of that football. Well, not change the momentum, but I would say close the door.
You block the punt, you block the field goal.
Yep. That's true. Yeah.
Hold them to 0 to you know, sustain the shutout.
That's good.
Which is big. I mean, I always rest on the defensive side, and I want a shutout if we can. So,
absolutely, for sure.
I'm an offensive guy, I do know how important.
Yeah.
Most of my kids play defense, so anyway.
I look at that two-dimensional this week, and one of the things that Chris and I talked about in the on air was we counted at least 4 running backs.
Yeah.
It wasn't just our first 2 guys. You went to Little Williams, Wiley, and you had Freeze in there, and so it was exciting that those guys made positive yards, scored a touchdown, that kind of stuff. How has practice been this week, knowing that those 4 guys have been kind of riding a high coming off of Friday night?
You know, Coach Shea Kelly does a really good job with our running backs. He's been a staple with 8th grade and 9th grade. So we pulled him up, and he's been an unbelievable football coach for those guys. Just challenges them and does a really good job of rotating those guys in and out. You know, we got a stable of good running backs.
Yeah.
And you know, if one stays hot, we can leave them in there. But you know, it's also good to keep them fresh. So he does a good job of watching the kids and substitute them when we need a sub.
You let Easton make some run choices this
Yeah.
week, and he got loose a few times.
Yeah.
And he delivered the ball on time in some perfect windows, and it's just great to see all of this come together. Finally.
Sure. And it's good to be playing our best football of the season heading into district play.
No doubt. Hey, it was a great win. We appreciate you guys, Sandike Nation, showing up in force at Memorial Stadium. We love what we saw, and now we flip the page on our next segment, and we're going to talk about our first district match with Bartlesville. So don't go away. We're coming to you live from Amped Up Energy and Protein, downtown Sand Springs. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the Bobby Klinck Coaches Show, where we're sitting at Amped Up Energy and Protein in Sand Springs, talking all things Sandite football. We just finished talking about last week's opponent. Now it's time to flip the page. This is where really the rubber meets the road, and we have district game coming up. It's a road game. I know that you guys, coaching squad, has gotten your team ready to go, and you're working toward that goal of Friday night, coming home with our first victory in district. So let's talk a little bit about Chris. I don't know if you want to jump in first, but let's talk about Bartlesville a little bit.
Well, speak on the district first and how
Sure.
we open district play this week.
Yeah. Rolling into district play. So every 2 years, us coaches, we we decide who's going to be in our district, and so this decides playoffs and all those things, wins and losses, how much you win by, how much you lose by. There's a lot of things that go into district play, and so it'd be really good if we can start off fast, and, especially going on the road. It's a pretty good little trip to Bartlesville against a very good football team that's, they've done very well the past few seasons, but, with some playoff wins and making some runs. And, I know Coach Wright over there, they do a really good job, and, that they're going to air the football out this, offensively. Yeah. So we've got to be sound on what we're doing defensively. And then offensively, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. I think if we can just continue to run the football and give Easton time, I think our skill guys can get open and we can score some points.
How do you work in this week in preparation for travel?
Sure.
And away game mentality?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's always harder to play on the road.
Sure.
What's some of your keys to this week as you coach these guys?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that we do when we're doing an away game is, I tell the kids, okay, here's what the schedule's going to look like. And then on Fridays, if it's a home game, we'll wear ties. And then if it's an away game, I give them their travel suits. So we've started a deal a couple of years ago where we're going to wear travel suits, all wear the same stuff, and we're riding the bus. So that's going to be a cool deal. So they're all going to look the same. They're going to look, when they're walking through school, they're dressing what they're going to be wearing on the road. So I think that puts them in that mindset, okay, they're still doing class, they're still learning and all that stuff, but, they're also thinking, okay, I've got this is a business trip, I got to prepare, and, I think it's going to be a good deal coming up here on Friday.
Bartlesville's shown that they can score.
Yes.
They have a quarterback-receiver combination, averaging about 21 points a game. They know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Correct.
In preparation for that, you guys, like I said earlier in the segment, your back end of your defense overall has learned how to take the ball away and keep teams from scoring.
Yeah, I think our overall speed defensively is the best we've had. I thought it was on display against Bishop Kelly, and especially up front, stopping the run and doing the things we do there. I think it's going to be a challenge for our back end, and I think they're going to be up for the challenge. I think, like I said, we've got a group that's really highly experienced, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Good.
I look at Bartlesville that the last couple seasons, it's been a tight, hard-fought game.
Yep.
Winning with the last-second field goal in overtime just a couple seasons ago. Last year it was just a battle. So add that to going to Bartlesville, it's going to be a tough matchup for the Sandites. You guys seem to have things moving in the right direction. I, too, have noticed the offensive attack for Bartlesville, and we're going to talk to Waylon here in just a few minutes up front, but you're going to have a lot of pressure put on your back end. So it's going to be fun to see how many takeovers we get from Bartlesville this weekend.
Well, it'll challenge your guys for sure, but we know that you'll be having prepared, and there'll be some new things coming, I'm sure, on pass rush and things like that. And we got a run stopper coming. We're getting ready to talk to Big Waylon.
That's right. It's going to be fun. Any other final thoughts on Bartlesville that you're looking for this weekend?
It's just it's been a really fun game the past few years that I've been here, so we're looking forward to the challenge, especially on a road trip. It's a really neat stadium. It's right on the high school, on the campus. They've done a really good job over there, so it's always a really good environment when you go there. So make sure everybody travels and comes out, and hopefully we can put on a show.
7 o'clock Friday night in Bartlesville. We're going to be there on air as well, but we're going to end this segment and going to look forward to our two players coming up in the next segment. We're going to come back to you live from Amped Up Energy and Protein with the third segment of the Bobby Klinck Coaches Show in just a moment.
Welcome back to the Bobby Klinck Coaches Show here at Amped Up Energy and Protein, and excited for our players segment. I always love this part of our show every week, and we have two seniors to introduce you guys to. And so got senior defensive lineman, number 8, Waylon Jeffers, and then Logan Wright, our senior tight end, number 9. And welcome aboard. Welcome to the show. Excited to talk some football with you guys. And a great win on Friday night. How'd that feel?
I mean, it felt great.
You love it?
I love it, man. I always love winning.
It's about time, right?
Yeah, winning always feels good.
Yep.
Always feels good.
So one of the first things I've been asking guys when they jump on here with this is, how would you say your team describes you? And Waylon, you jump in first. How do they describe you?
I mean, I think they think I'll get the job done. You know? They know I'll get the job done. I can take on double teams,
right?
And they know that about me.
You've been at least a 3 or maybe 4-year starter. 3 years.
I've been a 4-year starter.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I remember way back. I mean, watching this young pup, big young pup, come up, but probably the strongest guy on this team. I see all the clips in the weight room. So, Logan, how about you? How would your teammates describe you?
I would say just someone who always shows up. You know, I always have everyone's back for sure. I'm definitely I'll always put in the work no matter what.
I've heard you called a program guy. You're a guy that's been here a long time, grew up here. You're the first guy on my feed, my social media feed, that earned a single digit this year. I don't know if that was how it worked out, but I got the notice that Logan Wright has got number 9. So, how's that feel?
It feels amazing. You know, I mean, just the 4 years I put in all the work here, and to finally get that, it just feels really good. You know?
Yeah. Congratulations on that. How special that is.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Anyway,
Thank you.
so Waylon, let's talk defensive line. All right. I love the trenches. I was an offensive lineman, but talk a little bit about what happens every down, every play there in the trenches.
You know, it's gritty. It's obviously going to be gritty. It's dirty, but you got to get in the gap and you got to stay in it.
Yep. So you're used to taking on double teams. You're making contact every play.
Mm-hmm.
I got to ask you, is there anything that's happened in the trenches or in the pile that you felt like you've been violated? Is there anything that's
I mean, a few times if you go down on all fours on accident, you get your hand stepped on real bad. That's no good.
Yeah, no, you got to watch yourself. I think the worst things that have ever happened in my life with my body playing football was out in the pile.
No doubt.
I mean, shoulder separation and broken leg one time. So anyway, it's a nasty job, right? But somebody's got to do it.
It definitely is.
Any trash talking going on the defensive line before the snap?
I'm not much of a trash talker, but some of them talk a little bit. But I'm not much of a trash talker.
Well, Logan, let's talk a little bit about the tight end position. How would you describe the tight end position?
It's I've always been a receiver, so it's my first year playing tight end, and so it's definitely a big difference. A lot more blocking.
Have you had to adjust a little bit?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've had to get it's a lot more blocking, so I got to get more aggressive down there. I'm down there with the linemen sometimes.
Learning how to get your hand placed right, frame, all that stuff. Do you have anybody? Maybe you don't because you were an outside receiver, but a tight end that you looked up to, or somebody that you kind of model your game after?
So I don't really model my game after anyone, but a tight end that I've always liked is Mark Andrews. OU plays for the Ravens now.
Choice.
I love Mark Andrews. So yeah.
So you are, if not, I think you're the leading touchdown. You got the most touchdowns this year. How's that feel? I mean, you just have shown up, caught the ball, and scored.
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, I didn't really expect it, to be honest. With Dom Forbes and all these other Paxton, all these other great receivers.
Man,
it's
you
surprising
fit
to
right
me.
in.
Yep. Sir.
And I know you're splitting some time with Grady.
Yeah.
And you guys do a great job. The packages look wonderful. I was telling Coach Klinck and Coach Green, I love the tight end being fitted in. I like that part of the package. How would you describe, and then I'll turn it over to you, Will, your chemistry with Easton, and how have you guys developed that?
I'd say it's gotten really good. It's really developed. With the touchdowns, I think he sees that I can catch the ball. I'm reliable. Yes, sir. And and so it's really built up over time. And I was always a receiver too, so that helped. Yeah, definitely helped.
Ball in and find it in the crowd. So we'll jump in here.
No, I like what you just mentioned was some of those best NFL teams had a relationship quarterback and tight end because he can trust that I've got an outlet, or maybe it's a called play to you. I wish you could see Chris and I in the box sometimes because we can see it developing from the press box,
Yeah.
and we get excited to the point where we're just dancing up in the press box when a sack happens or when you guys have a touchdown pass. We were like, the numbers look a little crazy to us because we can't really tell 8, 9
Right.
from our distance, but it is a lot of fun to watch you guys from up above. I just want to just kind of touch on some of the things that I like to see is how are those junior varsities and middle school kids looking up to you? Do you have much of interaction with those younger kids to try to pass the torch behind you as you guys are getting ready to leave Sand Springs? What's your hope that you get to teach them as you exit the program?
I just hope that I can be a good example, a good leader, that they can see how I lead by example, and they can just try to model that kind of. I mean, I just want to inspire them really to be the best they can be always.
How about you, Waylon?
I mean, pretty much the same thing. I just want them to look at me, you know, to do the right thing and, you know, just always do the right thing.
Yeah, we didn't ask Waylon about his nickname.
Getting there though.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
we
bad.
about to get there because
Okay.
we're going to run a little long on this segment. We can't let that go. But one of my favorite people in the stands, no matter what game I go to, is your grandfather, and he speaks highly of you and your talent and loves to watch you play football. And you got a cousin that plays too, is that right?
Yeah, Dawson.
Yes, that's right. And so I know Grandpa's happy to watch you play out there. But we do. We had you on the show a couple of years ago, I think, when we asked you about your pregame deal. Is the meal still the same?
Oh, always 20-piece nugget pregame meal.
I love it.
Gets me right. It gets me ready to, you know, play the game.
Well, that's good. I like a consistent man.
I
and
hope
that-
you don't mind us calling you that all the time, because
Hey, it's my
I think
nickname.
we both looked at each other that first show, and you said that, and I went, 20-piece McNugget. All right, let's
We're
go.
gonna do it.
So-
Logan, what is your pregame routine? Do you have a meal that you like, music you listen to? Do you wear the same socks every week? What's your deal?
Yeah, I really don't have a routine. I mean, I kind of just do whatever, you know. I like to go home, relax a little bit whenever it's a home game. I'll have a little snack maybe. I don't really eat a big meal or anything. I don't want to eat too much.
I
so,
hear you.
Yeah, I've never been a routine guy really.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on
bet.
the show tonight.
Great job.
Keep
Thank
up
you
the
for
good work
joining us.
on and off the field. People are watching you. Young kids are watching you. So keep walking the path that you're walking now. One of our favorite times to get the players on the set and get to talk to them a little bit. Thank you for being here. We're going to come back with our final segment with Coach Bobby Klinck live on Pro Team. We'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back to the Bobby Klinck Coaches Show, live from Amped Up Energy and Protein. And gentlemen, this is one of my favorite segments because we get to kind of relax a little bit and have a little fun. But before we do that, Coach, those two players that we just had on the set,
Yeah.
kind of give us a little snippet of what you see in those two senior leaders.
It's kind of a tale of two tales, you know, the two different careers. Waylon, you know, started from day one when he came here and has just had an unbelievable career. And then you got a guy like Logan Wright who trusted the process and kept working out and kept getting better. And now is coming into his senior year. He's become an integral part of our offense and of this football program. And so just really proud of both of those. And it just shows you that, you know, not everybody gets to be a 4-year starter.
Yep.
But, you know, it doesn't make their careers any less the same. I think it's just a neat deal for both of those guys.
Great, they did a great job. It's just so fun to have them, and just so courteous and
Yeah.
professional, and man, just great young men.
Well, it's big time, you know, because Logan is just very loyal to this football program. In fact, you know, when I talked to him about coming to do this coaches show, he's like, I don't know, Coach. My girlfriend's got a volleyball game, and I'm just like, come on, dude, you got to get the coaches show.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a little bit late for his girlfriend's volleyball game.
Good for him, man.
So thank you, Logan.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, forgive him. He was.
It's
doing
going to be
something
all
wrong.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
right.
right. So, but anyway, big day in the news today, right? We get Coach Gundy.
Coach
After an
Gundy.
unbelievable career,
Yep,
21 years, they let him go. You know, you feel bad for him and his $15 million buyout. And then also what happened, John Mateer all of a sudden has surgery, is going to get surgery on his thumb and won't be playing. So this is kind of a weird situation here.
Scenario.
This is an interesting scenario because there's been rumors, right, of the OU offensive coordinator, Arbuckle, being the next head coach at OSU, and now, 4 games into the season, securing maybe a possible medical red shirt for John Mateer at quarterback to now be at OSU the following year. You heard it here first.
I was going to ask
You heard it
are
here
we
first.
hearing
I love
this for
it.
the first time
You
here
know,
from
I'm,
Coach
I'm,
Klinck?
I'm like the Brian Windhorst.
Can we put that little runner across the bottom of
I'm
the
the
screen?
Brian Windhorst of
Heard
college
Coach
football.
Klinck.
You heard it here first. There's just, when there's a lot of coincidences like that, it's not a coincidence.
You don't know.
You heard it here.
You don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I don't even know how to follow that up, but I can't disagree with it because you never know these days.
Exactly.
Well, I was going to just pipe in. You've already talked about some of your coaches.
Yep.
The guys you bring in here are top notch, top quality, and they fit in with your program so
Absolutely.
well. And we talked also about the chemistry, or I guess the formula of winning.
Sure.
That makes your weekends easier, doesn't it?
Yeah. First of all, you know, what I look for in coaches is, you know, are they good people? Are they hard workers? What's their family life like? Are they you know, men of God? And if we get that part, the football stuff becomes pretty easy. But you know, we are such a tight knit group with that coaching staff. So it's always just, okay, is this guy going to come in and be just very good with our staff? And luckily, you know, if I'm going to pat myself on the back, I've done a pretty good job of hiring guys.
Oh, I would echo that. And
Yep.
I mean, from all the guys you brought in, the guys you've moved up, they do a great job with the kids.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
You're student athletes. So.
Well, they have to, you know, because sometimes I scramble the eggs and then they got to make the omelet out
You
of
tip
it.
over
So.
the fruit basket.
That's
they
right.
You
got
know,
it
but
all.
that's my
Figure it all
job. You know, I tell our kids all the time, I got plenty of friends. I don't need any more. So it's, but you know,
Coach Klinck.
our kids are great, man. I love them.
Yeah. So, well, we're heading up to Bartlesville this week.
I love it.
Excited for the away game, the first district opponent, an opportunity to build on what we've established here. And any last parting words outside of the Gundys?
I mean, were you
How do you do
Pistol
that?
Pete or
Yeah.
something? Or
Something like, yeah, I don't know, but you know, it's just as being proud Golden Hurricane alum, it's good being
We may
the
have
part of the second best football program in the state.
That's
so
exactly right. I'll
you
take,
know,
I'll
hey,
take that.
11th and Harvard. I'm telling you, man, it's a special
I
place.
love
We love it.
Exactly. Go Golden Hurricane.
Yeah,
That's
baby.
right. No, hey, we're looking forward to this weekend, Friday night, 7 o'clock at Bartlesville, the Bruins versus the Sandites,
Yep.
first district game. If you can't make it, which I hope you can, because we need you there because of the home field advantage that Bartlesville is going to have. We need you there to offset some of that. I know the band's going. I know that Sandite Nation is going to show up. If you can't make it, we're going to be on at 6:20. Is our hope that you can watch it right here on this same YouTube channel. We look forward to being a part of your Friday night as we cheer on the Sandites to a first district game victory this weekend. Chris, Croach, it's good to always share this table with you. We appreciate it. Back down here next Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, homecoming week next week. We get to talk a lot of homecoming stuff, festivities, all that kind of stuff. We'd love you to come down and share a tea, share a smoothie or a shake right here at Amped Up. But until then, we'll see you on Friday night. Lights in Bartlesville this coming Friday night. We'll see you on the road.